Junior church, you are dismissed to walk. Fourth grade on down. I just have to say I wake up on Sunday mornings and I'm getting ready for stuff, and I sat there this morning kind of looking over some scriptures and stuff, and it just hit me. I am so privileged to share a message of God with you, and I am privileged to be a part of this family. So this morning I was just kind of overwhelmed by that. So I want to thank you for me and how God has called you to be. I feel incredibly lucky just to be with you. So I just wanted to say that.
They're all waiting for the joke.
There's no joke. There is no joke. My wife said that. They're waiting for the joke, because usually that's what I do. There is no joke. That's the truth. I really felt overwhelmed. We're in the midst of a sermon series called Family Matters. We start by looking at women and how they can have a godly influence on children, on those around them, with or without the help of a father around them. Then we looked at boundaries. We need to keep boundaries in our lives to keep us moving forward, to keep us safe. Last week we looked at the graduates and the places we'll go and how God can guide, protect, and bless us through all that. Each of these is focused on the individual aspects of our family, within our family relationships. Today we come to a very interesting topic. One that has plagued mankind since the Garden of Eden. Many people will say relationships are a hassle. They are hard, and sometimes they just don't seem like they're worth all the trouble. But I believe it's not the relationship that's hard. I believe it's communication. How many of you have ever had hard times communicating to the other gender? Do you know where we're going now? Sometimes it feels like you're speaking to a whole new species. And I'm not saying which one of those. Despite the frustration, a vast majority of us have this undeniable desire to have a great relationship with the opposite sex. We want both male and female friends. We want successful business relationships, both men and women. We want marriages to be happy and harmonious. That is why so many of our decisions are affected by how the other person will respond. Some here are not in a married relationship. But no matter your marriage status, we are in a relationship with other people. We are not exclusively friends to just one gender. We are not exclusively working with one gender at work. You don't have one type of neighbor. You're not surrounded by just that person. So, whether you're married or not, this topic should hit home. This is a sermon that I've been wanting to preach for at least 6 years. It's taken me this long to get smart enough to do it. Okay?
Good luck.
Good luck. The truths of these, I believe, will really impact our lives. They'll help us as couples, as adults, as parents. They'll help us with our neighbors and our co-workers. And I have to give credit to someone else again. When I first found a book, I read through parts of this book. I went on a class about this book. And I'm stealing their terminologies and a lot of their ideas. So, again, it's not me who's the smart one on this. I'm just one that kind of put it together right here. How many of you know there's a difference between men and women? If you don't, wake up. Okay. Here's an example how men and women are different. They are different in the bathroom. A man has 6 items in the bathroom: toothbrush, toothpaste, shaving cream, razor, soap, and towel. That's all he needs. Now, on average, a woman has 337. Let's talk about all the different styles of makeups, bobby pins, and different towels. And you got to have different towels for different occasions. And 337. A man would not be able to identify most of those. Okay, they're different in dressing up. A woman will dress up to go shopping, to water the plants, empty the garbage, answer your phone, read a book, go get the mail. A man will dress up for a funeral or a wedding. That's about it. There are differences in how much we speak. On average, women say over 7,000 words a day, while men speak around 2,000. Little disclaimer, in my house it's the opposite. We are different even before we are born. At around 26 weeks, the girl fetus starts to develop a thicker corpus callosum. It's the part of the brain that connects the right and the left hemispheres together, those highway bridges there. Boys don't develop that. Okay? I want to tell you right now, men are born brain damaged. It is proven. We have less connections between our brain hemispheres. God made us this way. Okay? It's not, I'll get to that in a minute. So physically, we are different. Mentally, we are different. Emotionally, are men different than women? Yeah, yes we are. So which one is right? Which one is better? Don't answer that. Let's see what it says in Genesis 1, starting verse 26. Then God said, let us make human beings in our image, to be like us. They will reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, the livestock, all the wild animals on the earth, and all the small animals that scurry along the ground. So God created human beings in His own image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female. He created them. God created men, and God created females in the image of Himself. God created men to think, to act, to be as they are. It is God's fault, ladies. God created them that way. God created women to think, to act, and to be as they are. It's God's design, fellas. God created them. Neither is better, neither is right, unless they are in the image of God. It was God's plan to make men and different women from each other. I'll tell you right now, I could not be married to a dime. Wouldn't happen. How many of you could be married to someone identical to you? No. The original plan was for God to use these differences within us as a starting point to build intimate, fulfilling relationships. But in our sin-filled world, what started out as an advantage to build us and bridge us together has become a frequent source of frustration. Now, what I'm going to share with you that I learned out of this book is something I have used with youth groups since 2003. I've used this in all my premarital counseling as well as marital counseling. So if you have had any counseling with me, just don't spoil it for people. See, now you're wondering, what's in this? Ladies, nothing in here is alive. It's not going to jump out and get anybody. Okay? But I've used this, and I got this from a book. And at first, this may seem silly. Okay, you might be going, oh my goodness, he's resorting to this. But I have used this truth even in my own marriage, relationships, with the youth groups, with the church people. I've used this. And it works really well because, man, it involves food. Yeah, okay. So first off, we know men and women are different. But how? This is how I want you to think of a man. Waffles. Okay? There you go, Clayton. Clayton wants a waffle. You can't have this just yet. Men are like waffles. Okay? I've got this. I wish you could see this. Now people going, what? Where is he going with this? Okay? So men are like waffles. If you look at a waffle, you see a collection of boxes. You see, all separate from each other that make convenient holding places. And this is typically how men process life. Their life is divided into separate things. Okay? One issue at a time. The typical man lives in one box at a time. In fact, this is how a man's brain would be thinking. If he's in the work box, he's not thinking about anything else. It's the work box. He could be in the hobby. He's doing this hobby, and you're trying to talk to him, ladies. He's not paying attention, is he? Because he's in the hobby box. If he's watching TV, you know you can't talk to him. Because he's solely focused in his box on a box. If he's in this box, nothing else in the world matters. He's in the box. Nothing happens here. Everything is solely focused. He is focused on one thing at a time. Social scientists call this compartmentalizing, putting life and responsibilities into different compartments. The problem box, over there on the far right, or your left, I want you to think of it this way. When a man encounters a problem, he focuses on it. He puts his time and energy on it, and everything else fades away. You can't talk to him about something else. He's in this box. And he'll focus on the profit loss, the pain and pleasure. He'll choose the most pain-free, loss-limited option available, assign the solution, fix it, and move on. It's done. And many times, ladies, you need to notice, when he fixes a problem, that box is gone. Because it's not a problem. It's fixed. The perfect example, I use this all the time. There was this couple I know, they were engaged, they were talking about a problem. They came up with the invitations. He said, what's the matter with them? Well, they don't have the right color because they're white. No, they're not white, they're off-white. They're supposed to be opaque or whatever color off-white it is. And there was a problem. 2 weeks later, after it was fixed, she started talking about the problem. He had no clue what was going on. What do you mean? There's no problem. And they started this huge fight, and it all came down to he wasn't paying attention to the problem they have with the invitations. And he was going, they're not a problem anymore. We already got them. They're solved. So this is how men fix things. We put it, and if we can't find a solution to it, we put it in the wait box. Just wait. We'll set it there. We'll come back to it later. Okay? Kind of stews or ferments over there until we come up with a solution. And if I cannot fix a solution, if I cannot come up with something to fix it, I'm not staying in the box. I don't want to feel like a failure. I don't want to keep rehashing why I'm failing and can't do it, so I will wait and get in a different box where that isn't even close to my thinking. And if sometime in the future I discover, then I'll go back and fix it. There are things in life that need one focus. They need singular focus, that need attention directly on that. And that's why God created us this way. They need one solution. Now, men are like waffles. Women, you're not like waffles. You're like spaghetti. This is your brain. Ladies, I want you to really get this. If you look at a plate of spaghetti, you just look at this. How many other strands of noodles will this one touch? All of them. Multiple times. You cannot follow it. And in my thinking, this is chaotically messy. But that's because I'm a box. Women, you get this. And let me show you why. It's connected. Everything within your life is connected. Every part of your life. See, it's not simply that men are just logical and women are emotional or intuitive. Men compartmentalize. We put them in boxes while women integrate it. You piece it together. It fits together. Okay? And what that means is when women go through life, they make emotional connections to things that impact them. This is why women are better at multitasking. You can't multitask in one box. That's one task. But women can multitask. Look at this picture here. This is what goes through a woman's mind by the minute. Okay, you saw one thing. But if you follow these, here's a woman can talk on the phone, prepare a meal, make a shopping list, work on the agenda for tomorrow's business meeting, give instructions to her children as they're going out to play, close the door with her foot, without skipping a beat, because her thoughts are integrated. They're all connected. She's able to process that. She can keep track of more than one thing while the guy's going, oh, what's going on? Men can't do that. Men do not stand at the grill thinking about, this is what I want to grill next time. I need to fix this on the car. I need to work on the roof. And man, my relationship could use a little attention. I think I need new shoes. No, we grill. That's all we do. There's nothing else. Grill. Amen. In fact, I want to grill right now. I started getting them up. But most women are in pursuit of connecting their life together. They solve problems from a different perspective. They don't dive into it and surround themselves with it. They integrate everything. They consistently sense the need to talk things through. Men, you know this. They want to talk it through. They want to see how it connects to everything. And it's how God created them. The links to her come naturally, so the conversation is effortless on how to get going. If she is able to connect all the issues together, the answer to the question at hand bubbles to the surface and she can accept it. She doesn't have to lock herself in a box and think about nothing but that. And this often creates significant stress for couples while she is making connections because her brain is wired this way. He is trying to figure out what box to go to. He doesn't know. He's trying to figure it out. The man's eyes are rolling back in his head as there's a tidal wave of information. He's like, I don't know where I'm going. And when she's done, she feels better. And he's overwhelmed. The conversation might look something like this. Joan gets home and says, honey, how was your day? I had a good day today. We committed to a new education wing at the university, and I've been asked to oversee the budget. I'm so excited that you didn't rule me out because I am a woman. You know that women have been fighting for a place. Notice how fast I'm going. That's on purpose, okay? You know women have been fighting for a place in society for decades, and it's good to see so much progress being made. I think it's neat that you treat the women you work with so much respect. Our daughter is so lucky to have you for her dad. Did you remember that Susie has a soccer game tonight? I think it's important that we are there because the Johnsons are going to be there. And I really want you to meet them. Susie and Bethany are getting to be good friends, and I think we should get to know her parents as well. What was that conversation about? Ladies understood everything. The guys are going... As Joan is exploring this conversation, Dan is lost, the husband. He has no idea what the budget at the university has to do with his daughter's soccer game and the neighbors. What are we talking about here? He admires her ability to seemingly connect these seemingly unrelated thoughts, but he has no idea how she does it. Now here comes the connection. And ladies, watch this connection. Guys, get in the box labeled why it is good that women aren't that way. Okay? Just get in the box that says this is good and I need to know this. There are things in life that function best when they are single focused, one focused, direct on it. And then there are things in life that function best when they are multitasked. And that is why we need each other. That is why we need both people in different types of relationships. We need both genders at work and in our communities and in our homes. Now notice, I did not say we understand each other. You will never understand each other. You'll need each other. Because we are different, the challenge is to make those differences work for us and with us, not against us. I have given up expecting ever to understand a woman. Okay? Anytime I feel like I'm getting close to understanding this, She flips it upside down, and I have no idea where I am again. Okay? I don't get it. It switches angles. So I'll never do that. Instead, I need to celebrate womanhood and enjoy the richness in its differences. Ladies, you will never understand what it is to have testosterone flowing through your system 24/7. As much as you cannot shut off your brain, we cannot shut off the testosterone. And there's one more thing you will never understand. In that box, that picture of the Waffles there, you saw a nothing box. Men have a nothing box. When they go there, nothing happens in their brain. It is autopilot. And women, you don't understand that because there is a lot going on. You can't follow. There are times that a guy is sitting in the nothing box. He's right here. And when you see this look, ladies, the first thing you do is, what are you thinking about? Jump into a box. Because if I say nothing, oh great, she's thinking I'm hiding something. So kind of fun. I was thinking about the car. Yeah, really, what were you thinking about? And he's gotta get in the box. Where's the box? We gotta find it needs new brakes. You wouldn't understand. Don't ask him what he's thinking. Because if he says nothing, you won't believe him because you can't stop. And he does all the time. It's true. And you'll never get that. Did you know testosterone actually affects the way men think? There are more connections between the left and right hand side of a woman's brain than a man's side. Okay, I told you when they were in the womb, there's a brain that their connections started growing and it doesn't happen in the men. Well, it's because of testosterone. When the testosterone washes over the baby girl, nothing happens. But when it washes over a baby boy, connections between the brain hemispheres deteriorate. He has less connections. The woman's brain has around 200 million connections between the brain hemispheres. And studies suggest that the vast majority of these 200 million connections are gone in a man's brain. We are not connected. This is why some people theorize we are less emotional. We don't have that connection. We cannot integrate things. If I'm at work, I can't connect it to how I feel about my wife and connect that to how I need to get the dog to the vet and connect that to... They don't connect because I don't have those connections. It's not that guys are left brain and girls are right brain. Guys can use either side of their brain, okay? But ladies, you get to use both sides at the same time, where guys can't. Men do not have signals going from the left and right. We don't pick up on signals. You know this. Because we can't connect them. Men look at problem boxes, assign a solution, and they never go back to the box again. It's fixed. Why go back? But for a woman, the issue is now part of her life. It's integrated. And when all the guy has done is listen, he feels he has another box to a solution that he can't fix. When she's dumping out her problems, he's trying to find this, but how do I fix this? This is where communication starts breaking down because women are thinking like this, we're way over here, and somehow we got to fit together. Men don't simply process. They don't integrate. They don't connect. They drive to something. They have to be working to the solution, fix something, building, solving, or destroying. But sitting, you can't be in a nothing box when somebody's talking to you. Because she gets really mad. And we don't know where to go when you are trying to explain your integrated feelings and thoughts. Now, what's this have to do with us at church? This sounds more like sociology instead of a sermon. Romans 15:7 says something very profound. Accept one another then, just as Christ accepted you, in order to bring praise to God. You see what it says right there? We are not called to understand each other. We are called to accept one another. Accept the differences. So I think we need to replace I want to understand you with I accept that this is how God made you. Because if God made you this way, it's really good. And I need to accept that, not change it. If we don't accept each other with our differences, we will end up trying to change the other person. And the things that first attracted us to that person will become things that pain you. Without acceptance, opposites first attract, and then they attack. So without acceptance, we will attack. And with these two different styles of thinking, look what God says in Ephesians 5:22. Wives, fellas, you have your favorite verse. Wives, submit yourself to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. Amen. Let's go home. No. Guys, we like this verse, don't we? Ladies, it says it in here. I didn't write it. Take it up with God. God authored this. He said you are to submit to your husband. Now, first off, let's define the word submit. It does not mean slave. Fellas, did you hear that? It does not mean that. It does not mean has no voice. Okay? It means stand in the support of, encourage, and follow the lead of. That's what submit means. Encourage, support, and follow the lead of. In fact, it's a Greek military term. It means instead of expecting others to cater to you and your needs, you look out for the best interest of the other person. You meet their needs. That's what submit means. So submit means to do that. But look what it says in 1 Peter 3:7. In the same way, you husbands must give honor. Whoa, what? Honor to your wives. Treat your wife with understanding as you live together. She may be weaker than you are. That's not saying lesser human. Okay? But she is your equal partner in God's gift of new life. Treat her as you should so your prayers will not be hindered. Honor her. Treat her with understanding. She is your equal in salvation. You see, there's mutual giving that God requires in marriage that He calls sacrifice. In fact, if any of you are disturbed at the specific instructions for submission for wives, first it says submit to one another. Then wives, submit to your husbands. Oh, so I have to submit to my wife as she submits to me, and we mutually sacrifice ourselves for the benefit of each other. That's called love. That's really what that is. And you need to realize something. In the same passage, it says husbands, that it said wives submit. It says husbands are to love their wives. You would think that was easy, ladies. You're built to love. But God says love the wives as much as Jesus loved the church. He gave Himself up for an offering, sacrificing for her, to make her pleasing, perfect, blameless, and spotless. Fellas, Ephesians 5 needs to be written on your heart. You are to love your wife so much that you dip down into the junk of this world to lift her up so she's radiant, so that she's spotless and blameless, and the whole world can say, wow, a spectacular woman. And the only way to do that is to get underneath and lift her up. And as He's doing this, ladies, if He says, I think we need to go over here, and He's lifting you up, He's honoring you, respecting you, understanding you, He says, I think we need to go over here. Submission goes, I'm following you. Let's go. See, it's understanding the differences of how God made us and using them. Try to encourage one another not to become like you, but what God made them to be. So wives, learn to give your husband some cues, not clues, because guys are clueless. So tell them, I just need to talk for 5 minutes. I need to share this. I don't need you to fix it. I just need to unload. So guys can get in the box. I need to support her and listen but not zone out. Okay? Guys, you do not need to assign a solution to this one. You are not sure. If you're not sure what to do, guys, it is perfectly fine to say, is this something you want me to fix or find a solution for? Ask the question. Right there is telling her you're listening. She wants that. And then she'll say, no, just keep listening, thank you. Basically, you're saying, what box do I need to get into? Ladies, help them get into this. And ladies, do not assume when a guy goes quiet, he has checked out. That's not what's happening. Science has proven this. Studies have shown when a guy goes quiet, it is not he is disengaging, although his face looks like it. But rather they are engaging at a deeper level for a man. Okay, they're starting to connect. They are actually feeling. And that's all. They're not sure what to do with it. And so they're trying to go into some free space or safe box to process that. Men feel stressed just as much as women, but they process it totally different. Do not assume quiet or inactive equals not interested or opting out. Just ask them a question. Are you still with me? Do you understand what I'm saying? When guys need to process, they have this option. And ladies, I know you wish you had a nothing box. I know you wish you had this fix-it box where you could just get in there and then leave it alone. God didn't design you that way. I'm sorry. But when a guy becomes emotionally flooded, he wants to escape, which you can't do, but he wants to escape into an easy box. For me, my easy box is the aquarium or my koi pond. I retreat into that box and I fiddle with it. And I just deal with it while that other stuff is getting processed in that box. And people, you spend so much time out there. Well, yeah, I got a lot to think about. But it looks like all I'm doing is playing with fish. But that's my process. That's where I'm working on it. And then once I fixed it, when I got that process, I go back. Okay, now I can engage in that. I can fix that. I can get into that. Ladies, God created you to process like that all the time. I am not as advanced as you. Okay? I'm the first model. You're the level B. You're the good model. Okay? I mean, he saw man, he went, pretty good. Woman, oh, yeah, that's good. Okay? So we got to understand this. This is one reason I believe ladies are such better at secretaries. She didn't know I was going to say this. She's over here going, Casey is an excellent secretary. She is able to handle the phone calls, people stopping in, the bulletins, song lists when she gets them, sermon slides, updating the website, Facebook, all while planning the meals, laundry, the kids' appointments, and what she's going to do to support me. And I'm in the office going, pretty fish. I can't follow it. I get dizzy just trying to think. We'll be talking about something in the office, about work, and then all of a sudden she's over here. I'm like, how do we get over there? I'm in a rip box. I'm trying to get this done, and she's over here, way over here with the kids. And why are we on the kids need new shoes and Brady grew and we got to do this? I was working on the bulletin. Okay, it's the boxes. We are in trouble when differences become interpreted as lack of caring. Just because I can't jump boxes doesn't mean I don't care. Just because her noodles take her all over the place doesn't mean she doesn't care about my box. We've got to understand we interpret and we integrate totally different. We need to remember that they cannot think like you. The other gender can. So we need to help them. Casey knows how to get me out of a box. She tells me, get out of your box. And you know what? It works. Oh, I was in a box. Okay, what order are we? And there are times I'll go to Casey. Hey, what noodle are we on? I'm not kidding. We have done this. I've done it in youth group, and the boys are going, girls, noodles, I don't know where we are. And the girls have gone, get out of that box, get over here, and it sounds silly, but it works. Because it's a cue. Hey, get out of the box. Oh, okay. I know where we are now. When a guy has one box to open, that's a problem to solve. And sometimes, ladies, when you are talking, you open up a myriad of boxes for us. Okay, there's all these different things, and we don't know which one we're trying to get into. We don't know which one to go to. So we conclude, this isn't a good box, I'm going to go to this box. Oh, no, now I got to get in the box. No, what box are we going? And he gets in there and so emotionally overwhelmed, and he becomes this box. And I need a box I can fix. I need a box I can have a solution for. And she's over here saying, just listen, support, honor, respect me while I share what my life has connected together. So we got to get back to coming. So don't try to fix everything, guys. Ladies, you can help a guy by giving them warnings. Please warn them. Tonight I'd like to talk about the kids. So I can get that box ready. Okay? Don't spring it on me when I walk in. Hey, by the way, about the kids, whoa, I just got in the got home box. Tonight I'd like to talk about this. Then he can be successful in that box. He can already process some things. Guys, ladies need warnings. When you want them to get in that one box, they need a warning hours ahead of time, because they got to connect a lot of things to be able to look at you that way. Everything in their minds and hearts is connected. Everything. So don't, because you go, ready? They can't. Okay? Don't expect them to be able to jump in without preparations. Which means, guys, think ahead. Plan ahead. Which goes back to that 1 Peter of honor her. Love her. We've gone through a very tough but very relevant topic. And again, I wanted to boil down to Romans 15:7. Accept one another. Then just as Christ accepted you in order to bring praise to God. We cannot change the other gender. I don't want to. I don't want more men in here. I don't want all women in here. God made us as we are. He called it very good. So let's quit trying to fix what isn't broken. Let's serve, honor, and respect one another. Learn to speak and listen to each other differently, to accept them as God created them. And one more thing, this really applies here. When we start doing this, when we start accepting the noodles or the boxes, we show the rest of the world this is what it means to live as Christ. To say you're different. You're a chaotic mess. But I love and respect you for that. I'm not going to fix it because that's not fixing. God says it's very good. And you're a hollow, empty-headed box. Yes, that's true. But God made it and said it is very good. And we can still work together. We can show people the love of God, the solution of sin, which is salvation through Jesus. If we just come together. And then our community will say, I can go there. Because I can fit in whichever way I live. What about you? I hope the boxes and noodles can help you. Whether it's in marriage or just family, work. But this all stems back to God created. So let's not try to make it better because He already made it. And let's live it according to what He says in His Bible. We're going to have time of invitation. If you need to make a decision, won't you come as we stand now